Joey here, ESBR Boxing, and I am delighted to be joined by, in this part of the world, boxing royalty. We've got Welsh, British, Commonwealth, European and former IBF world champion Lee Selby, and more impressively we've got Cole with us as well today. Gentlemen, what's it like being at a show like this? I come to a few amateur shows and they're not always this packed out. What are we making of the scene tonight?
I think it's great. You know, the smaller boxing shows, like the amateur boxing shows around the Welsh Valleys, are usually in like little social clubs, little pubs, and Enzo McAnally's managed to secure a great venue here today, or tonight should I say, and that I think is great.
Cole, what's it like for you? Have you been to many of these shows before?
Not really. I just started, I've been training, but I'm not allowed to fight yet. So I've been training in this club for a couple of months, and it's getting me fitter. And it's just
what club is that you're training at?
Clayton's.
Queensbury boxing gym. Queensbury boxing gym.
Queensbury boxing gym.
That's incredible. So we've seen a bit of boxing here tonight, Lee, and obviously you've brought some boys with you from your club and had a couple of wins as well. What's it take for people to get from this stage, because you've been here, you've done this, what's it take to get from this stage to get to the world stage? What are you looking for in amateur talent to take them where you've been?
It's very, very difficult to start on these grassroots, on these small shows, and work your way all the way up. But the main thing is dedication, the will to win, desire, train hard, and of course you need natural ability as well.
What brings you back to the boxing scene? Because you've been around the amateur scene, I see you at a lot of pro shows as well, supporting stablemates, and you're with Tony Borg and that. What keeps you involved in boxing? You could have sort of sailed off into the sunset and forgotten about this sport.
Well, I think once you got the boxing bug, it stays with you for life. You can't leave it. You can't get rid of it.
What keeps those knuckles from staying? Let's say not getting itchy knuckles. What stopped you, getting back in there a bit?
So luckily myself, I knew when the time was up. I know you see a lot of the fighters, they go on way too long. They end up getting hurt in the long run. And it's a dangerous sport. And I knew from my last two fights, I knew it was time to back in. The last guy was 10 years younger. The guy previous would have been maybe 6 or 7 years younger. And I know in my prime, I would have beat those guys. So I can't come second best to boxers who I could have beat previous. So I knew it was time.
I'm not trying to get you into a hypothetical here, but you talk about your prime, and in your prime, arguably the division was more competitive than it is now. Do you keep an eye on the world scene and you sort of think, I would have done all right now, I'd have lasted longer? What do you think?
Well, being a boxer or a former boxer and being very competitive, I still think I can be able. I do.
As well, this is a far cry. Shows like tonight are a far cry from some of the bigger scenes and some of the YouTube stuff and stuff like that. This is a real curveball question. What do you make of where boxing is at the moment? We've got Tyson Fury fighting in Ghana out in Saudi. We've got YouTubers. What do you feel like? Where do you feel boxing's at the moment?
So I'm in sort of two minds. So one part of me says it's good for the sport because they're bringing in a different audience and more money for some of the fighters. And then the other part of me thinks I left boxing at the right time. It's turned into a bit of a circus.
Cole, bring it back to you for a minute. In boxing, who's your favourite boxer?
Lee Selby.
Thank you very much. I'll pay him later.
I'm guessing you've seen Lee and helping you train, maybe you've seen some of his fights before. What is it that Lee does that helps you be a better boxer? What does he tell you?
The tactics, the movement, and the bobbing and weaving, and the ducks, and the what do you call them? Slipping and stuff.
Quality. Right then, we got some more fights about to go tonight. So Lee, thank you very much for your time. Cole, thank you very much for your time. We'll see you again soon.